welcome to yet another edition of Let's Talk on DLT Work. My name is Olatunde Mosaku, and as usual, we bring you topics that are beneficial to every one of us. Whether you're young or you're old, it is quite important that we discuss these topics and help ourselves do better in the society. So the topic for today is Beyond the Whip, shaping virtuous lives. Let's not forget the virtuous aspect of it. Virtuous lives through love and control. So Mrs. Modupe Olatunde, she is a coach and counselor, and she is very much available to help us do this topic. Thank you so much, Ma, for coming again. It's nice having you. I appreciate you, and I actually appreciate everything you've been doing, even with the teenagers.
Thank you very much. My pleasure always. Grace alone.
Yeah. So how do you define virtue, and how do you think it can be cultivated?
Virtue can be defined as a habitual disposition to do good, or more broadly, a moral excellence that enables a person to live well. A moral excellence that enables a person to do well. It's not just about individuals' actions, but about the quality of one's character. I laid emphasis on pronouncing that. The quality of one's character. I mean, we have people of good character and we have people of questionable character. You would always be like, is this person human? You know, and we have people that will act, that will be like, oh, is this person human, or is this person actually an angel? So, like, I laid emphasis pronouncing it, quality of one's character and the consistent tendency to choose what is right, even when it is hard or not convenient. There are times you have to take a decision that is not right. The fact that people are doing something every time and it's something everybody does sometimes doesn't make it right. And sometimes you just see yourself being the only person doing that right thing. Then people will look at you like, is she mad? Is she crazy or something? Why is she different from us? Why is she not doing it how we are doing it? Now, I want to actually mention what I'm talking about. Beyond the whip. You'd hardly see a percent, just 1 to 5% of teachers that are not abusive on students. I mean, this is a topic I love passionately because in my community, teachers communicate by beating, by cursing, by treating like animals. And it's like a serious concern to me. These children are to be nurtured. I'll get there. But because it's a topic I love passionately, you see, when you want to do something and you see others condemning you, why are you treating her like she's special? Why are you treating her like she's an egg? Actually, children are to be nurtured. Students are to be loved. We'll get there and we'll see the importance of treating people the way that will bring the best out of them. So conclusively, I said, but about the quality of one's character and the consistent tendency to choose what is right, even when it is hard. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So what virtues do you think are most very important to cultivate in this time and age?
Like an habit, virtues grow through repeated actions. And it will take me back to where I started from. Like an habit, it goes through repeated actions. Hi, Modupe Ola, I just love helping people. I love it. I mean, I do it to a questionable stage. You would almost ask me that, Modupe, are you okay? I mean, when I have to give everything I have, and I'll almost be a beggar, because it's something I grew up with. My father did it, and I want to tell, sometimes people say it's in the blood. It's not just about being in the blood. It's because I started doing it at a very good age, and it was a consistent thing on me. And, you know, I agree with it. And amazingly, on a daily basis, I am better and I am better. I have this discerning spirit that would always lead me in giving. I don't just give like a fool. I don't just give like an idiot. I will discern it when you need it genuinely. Even among the students, like you said earlier, I'm a teenagers coach. Among my teenagers, I discern and I know when they need something genuinely and I give it. So, like I said, it doesn't it's an habit that grows through repeated actions. Being honest once, if I decide to be honest with you just tonight, just because I'm not a truthful person, but I decide to be honest with you just tonight, does not make me an honest person. It comes by consistently telling the truth. If I want to say I'm an honest person, it's not because I was honest with you just once. It should be that I have been telling you truth over and over and over again. Even educationally, teaching about virtues and their value helps people understand why they matter. If you teach the students this consistently, it will help them to understand why they matter. Role models, observing virtuous people, parents, mentors, historical figures provides a living example. Self-discipline, resisting temptation or short-term gain for long-term gain. Communities, being in environments that encourage and reward virtue. Yeah, this is important. When students are faithful, I am specifically using students because the topic is talking about beyond the whip. So I am specific about my choice of example. When students does good things in school, let's try and reward them. Let's try and make them feel they have done something good so that they can continue doing it. Thank you.
J.K. Royal Signatures, a blend of African fabric.
Thank you very much. So now, do you think that there are situations where control is necessary, especially when it has to do with shaping the virtuous lives, as we are discussing today?
Control is very, 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 very essential. You could see
Control in what sense? When you say
thank
control,
you.
it's very important. Are we saying that this control of African control parents and all of that? Is that what we're talking about, or having to mitigate recklessness?
Especially if a person is learning, when I have an 8-year-old son. Let me use my son. I have an 8-year-old son. I have a 14-year-old son. Those are the little ones I have around. Other ones are full teenagers. When I try to, he wants some things at some particular times, and sometimes when I try to explain to him verbally, he insists. I raise my children with this free hand that gives them the confidence, yes, confidence to stand before me and be like, Mom, we need this. Sometimes they feel they need it, but it's just a want. And sometimes I'm like, no, you don't need it. You just want it. When I feel there is a need, as a mother, I know, and I try to provide it. But if it's just a want, and I try to explain to him, and it's like, I've not actually hit him physically for some months now. I'm not the kind of mother that does that, but I had to do it yesterday. Yesterday, I saw him doing some dirty things. It was raining. The weather was cold. I did it. I remember I'll be taking this topic today, and I was like, Odibela, beyond the whip. But no, as an African mother, I haven't touched him in a very long time. I'm telling you, in months. So when I caught him in the rain, I was like, no, 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 you're not supposed to do this. You're not even with your. But immediately I did it. So sometimes there is a need for control. It should not just be harmful. It shouldn't be. It should not be harmful. Thank you.
Okay, so there is need for control. Now,
Yes.
can love and freedom suffice alone, even without the will?
Love and
Freedom.
I tell you, it does work magically. It does work magically. I was in a school some times ago. Most times when I'm speaking, I say this. Love nurtures. I am a farmer. I'm an agripreneur. And when I plant something, I need to go to the plant every morning. I need to get there every morning. By the time it sprouts, there is a need for a very special care so that insects, it's not beaten by insects, it's not affected by harsh weather, it's not affected by too much water. There is this kind of love. Yeah, I tell people that as a farmer, I know how to love perfectly because whenever I plant anything, I nurture it with love until it starts growing, sprouting and growing. And so most times you see me removing the weed. This morning I went to my garden and you needed to see the pepper that I brought into my kitchen from my garden. It just didn't happen. I gave it so much love and attention. So when you show love, like, there is one amazing thing about me. After scolding my son yesterday, after like 30 minutes, and I called him, Moranuga, who hit my baby? And he looked into my eyes and he was like, Mom, I said, did I hit you? He looked into my eyes and I was like, I said, you don't do that again. You understand? After scolding him, to bring him back in love. And I made him understand why I had to scold him. I didn't just scold him and I left him like that. And we gave one another a very loving hug. And that was it. You understand? Because what he did, I didn't like. I didn't scold him unjustly. But sometimes even if I scold him unjustly, there is a way I apologize. I don't just leave him damaged for no reason. By the time we do that, it boosts their confidence and their self-esteem. Self-esteem, I always say, is one topic I love so much, is one thing I love so much. Once you have killed a child's self-esteem, you have finished that child. You see such children withdrawing, acting like the world is going to fall upon them, like nobody cares. I told you sometimes ago, I can't remember if it was here, how I went for a session in a secondary school, and all I was doing was sweetheart, angel, my love, my darling. And at a junction, a girl busted into tears. And I was like, have I said anything hurtful? She said, no, Auntie Dupe. All my life, no one has ever called me sweetheart. I was almost entering the ground. I mean, this is something I call my children. I mean, I say to my children every morning, I can use sweetheart, darling, my love for a child like 50 times in a day. So when you nurture in love, when parents guide with affection and firm discipline, affection, that I was saying before, and firm discipline. No, I don't want you to do this. No, you're not supposed to do this. You understand? When they are firm with it. Educators are supposed to cultivate morals, imagination through stories. You don't live with them. You just tell them things that has happened before, lovingly. Then I think I said leaders are supposed to set ethical examples. You don't just don't tell them what I say. They are watching. They should be able to watch what you do. Thank you.